Messo simpli, messo simpli, or 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 simpli, Lynch, it's April 23rd, say I need days to the end of the season, 26 minutes. Tuesday, adesso via, aspetta, in genere, tosto no, mi fosse la guarda latte, no, latte di in pratica yes, senza essere quando ivi latte di mi danno la mi serve la testa di se guarda latte di sono and it's area for use 6 for refinement 18 success in software sister words of Fiasco is with the effect channel tendency for years as June 17 sort effect to work on Fiasco there was as the last past some last past winter for the spring or coming and yes so round all the seasons some bit better all the season or seasons over come for Fiasco there was as I the spring of weeks was winter in 20 so we was at 5 days ago on March 20 it was a ferry and to be as in internet then on as absolutely mythical poi sono poi ci messo poi di I'm sure that there is a dream single the same society seems to propose activation to change better maps paradoxes to me I did those new integrations for the summer, the autumn, winter, for summer society what for the autumn once again soft for winter the evolution of general seasons periods as I read at least for me was a figure of complete but on an objective point of view so not me for 5 minutes more factor people we can say that in general enter in official in spring in practical in week in practical in Easter weekend in fact since those days between April 4 to 5 officially enter in it because since those days we have the perfect temperature decrease control in general in Italy but in particular in this city so very good but piani is for me in this period also in general always good instead matter scattered station see for sure is really beautiful artisticism so could be some of the Vedi after non finché tempo si ripete just for fare una titina se so mi guardi che siamo ci vedi today yeah oh it's beautiful beautiful blue skies and golden sunshine all along the way. Also, my God, abbiamo everyone, have a great day. As soon as you see the way which Mr. Lynch ends this weather report, or monument also the tone which mentioned the beautiful skies on the session is Sunday weather reports. We practically you this period effect will come out in a few minutes in particular. So you should see yes and you should see and you can see the sunshine most always near the enemy in my head this period for the fact that the conscience which affect the film make other parts of the hours also in other seasons maximum an hour and a half later in comparison to this and also the fact that yes this period in particular came out the shine behind this part so for this you can see most also my session near the enemy or now see the things with the session like it's nothing and start with referring from classical band song was me using it speaking me avete ormai la spasame sappiano il favore mi la spasame finché lavori sono solo più bello mio solo mia sta fronte a te solo mia sta fronte a te che near the enemy Stand for my head, stand for the day. Es porque se scene se mene si sta contigo effect se scene se ne sulle meno tolli si mi da supply se scene intention se contigo the si fa che sarà sono si bizzi che it's impossible una beauty recognition che se scene che siete Cavalier student until now sana skapet in serie 5 verso more than 3 weeks ago soon last March so factory non for another than sana skapet for other 8 hours. Yes, almost 8 hours. In comparison with Memphis, we are completely different time. According to me, my judgment, we are also losing time schedule attention the same time. Well, so is. So from this time, la differenza tra le flowers mi serve perché allora le flowers sono le seconde ultimo uso io quello che festono all the flowers mi serve fuori pink the color that esiste tra le ultime if not pink so similar to the color of the first 13 you are really close non if you can see not that well perché c'è un minimo if you oh, if you know, devi mettere certo pezzi per quattro video, ci riesce lui, vedere le scattazioni già di scattazioni provvisori di come loro muso, sappiamo non solo da scattazioni di come scattazioni loro. Fatto vedere la giusta